Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since my last video. I had a few things going on with school and also work going on. However, I am back, and today is going to be Game 5 of the Boston Bruins vs. Tampa Bay Lightning series. As the Bruins are currently down 3-1, and they must win if they want to stay alive in the playoffs. Now tonight will be Game 5, be at 7 o'clock. So what I decided to do for today is I wanted to do a little video talking about where Game 5 will be won. Taking a look at the Bruins and the Lightning, see where the heavy matchups were going to be for this game, and to see which team might have a slight edge in the series. Now, before I get into talking about these matchups, I want to mention the Black and Gold Hockey website. A lot of great articles, especially at the end of the month, there's always a lot of great articles, and obviously, a lot of different variants. There's been some recasts and looks ahead, some rewinds, all sorts of stuff on the Black and Gold website. I highly suggest you check it out. Link will be in the description, as well as the link for the Black and Gold Twitter, the Black and Gold Hockey podcast, which had a new podcast uploaded yesterday. It's a great listen. And also, there will be a link to the Fanatics link in the description, and that's the place where you can get all your sports memorabilia you want. Now, let's get back into the analysis. Now, the first matchup I want to talk about is going to be a matchup of the top line. So far in this series for the Boston Bruins, Brad Marchand has scored 4 of the 8 goals for the Bruins, while David Pastrnak has racked up 4 points, while both of them lead the team with 5 points in the series. Also, in terms of plus-minus, that front line of Patrice Bergeron, Brad Marchand, and David Pastrnak all are +1s, which lead the Bruins so far in the series. Now, obviously, the Bruins' top line is the top line for the team, but if you look at Tampa Bay, their top 3 point scorers for the entire playoffs are their first line. Braden Point, but 6 goals, 10 assists for 16 points. Nikita Kucherov, 4 goals and 12 assists for 16 points. As well as Andre Palat, who has 4 goals and 4 assists for 8 points. Those 3 are the leading point scorers for the Lightning so far in this playoffs. And Andre Palat especially has been a thorn in the Bruins side all playoff series so far. He scored multiple goals, including the overtime winner in Game 2, and he scored 2 goals recently. So it's going to be a really good time to watch that one, the first line for both teams. Another thing to watch for in this game tonight is going to be the matchup of the bottom sixes. Now, for the Bruins, they will be without Chris Wagner as he's been declared unavailable for tonight's game. There is a chance that Sean Kuraly could be back after his injury that prevented him from playing the last game. So it will be interesting to see what happens there and whether or not Bruins make changes. But in the Game 4, the Bruins use Nick Ritchie, Charlie Coyle, and Carson Kuhlman third line, with Joachim Nordstrom, Par Lindholm, and Chris Wagner on the fourth line. Obviously, Wagner will be out, but it'll be interesting to see what the Bruins are going to do, whether they bring in the likes of a Jack Studnicka or if Sean Kuraly is back, and whether or not Ritchie will play after his poor performance in Game 4 where he picked up 12 penalty minutes. On the flip side, Tampa Bay has a very solid bottom six as well. Their third line especially has been a good job for the Lightning so far. That is Barclay Goodrow, Yanni Gourde, and Blake Coleman. Those 3 have done a very good job against the Bruins. Particularly, Goodrow has been a physical threat against the Bruins. Yanni Gourde has been everywhere for them. And Blake Coleman's picked up some goals. And also, they have the fourth line. They typically run 7 defensemen. So they'll have Paquette and Maroon, followed by 1 defenseman that is typically Luke Shen. Now, that line doesn't really do as much, but they're still a physical threat, and they're able to balance against the Bruins' bottom lines. So I'm looking forward to see which bottom 6 steps up, because the Bruins' bottom 6 had been doing really well, especially against Carolina, but they have not done very well so far against Tampa Bay. So I really want to see how the Bruins will do there. Now, taking a look at the final line for both teams, the second line, the Bruins' second line have been really well against Carolina, with Andre Kasha, David Krejci, and Jake DeBrusk all pitching in very well. But they've kind of gone a little bit colder recently against the Lightning. However, they do have the capability of stepping up, especially with how good David Krejci's been so far this playoff, as well as Jake DeBrusk picking up a few key goals. Now, on the other side, the Lightning have had their second line struggle as of late. Their second line, which is Tyler Johnson, Anthony Cirelli, and Alex Killorn, all have -2 in the playoffs so far, and they're 3 of the only 5 players on the Lightning team to be a minus through the entire playoffs. They're -2s, even though Cirelli's picked up 4 points, Johnson has 6, and Killorn has 7. They're getting the points, but they also aren't really doing a lot defensively because they are on the edge for a lot of goals by the other team. So I want to see if the Bruins second line can get back to how they have been playing against Carolina, and to see if Tampa Bay's second line will stay on a little bit on the colder side of the game. Now, taking a look at the defense, including the goalies here, the Bruins have not really been doing well so far in this series. They've had a bit of changes. They had Jeremy Lauzon going for game over Connor Clifton, but for the most part, Char, Carlo, Grizzly, Krug, and McAvoy have been the men, and John Moore also made an appearance in the game the Bruins decided to go 7 defensemen instead of 6. Now, Charlie McAvoy is the key piece for this Bruins defense as he leads the entire team in time on ice per game, as well as leading in even strength time on ice. He also currently leads the team in blocks in the series, as well as most shifts. So it'll be good to see him do stuff. And he has done a lot better so far this series compared to the Carolina series. In this series, he has no takeaways and only 2 giveaways, where against Carolina, he had 2 takeaways and 10 giveaways. So he has improved dramatically in terms of his possession, and he also is getting a lot of blocks, he's getting a few hits, but he also needs to stay out of the penalty box. He's currently 3rd on the team this playoff series in penalty minutes with 14, only behind Torrey Krug's 15. That came from a 10-minute misconduct and a 5-minute fighting major, as well as Nick Ritchie, who also had a 5-minute fighting major, a 5-minute major penalty, as well as a few minors. So McAvoy's gotten a lot of 2-minute penalties. He needs to calm it down a little bit, and he also needs to keep that physical aspect up if he wants to try and lead the Bruins to doing well. However, for the Lightning, they might be getting Ryan McDonagh back as he's been out a lot recently. They still have some of the better defensemen. They have Zach Bogosian has been a really good player for them. Mikhail Sergachev, Kevin Shattenkirk, all play very well, but their main man is going to be Victor Hedman. He has 4 goals and 3 assists on that point for the Lightning. He also leads the team for the +8 in the playoffs. He's also been fairly clean, only 6 penalty minutes. So the Bruins really need to limit what Hedman can do, as well as trying to stop the other defensemen, whether it be Hedman, Bogosian, a first pairing, or the Shattenkirk, Sergachev second pairing. While the Bruins need to get more out of their own top pairing, Zdeno Chara and Charlie McAvoy, as well as get that support from Torrey Krug and Brandon Carlo, as Carlo has not been playing well, as he currently has he's actually even, but he really has not done well. He leads the team with 7 giveaways so far in this series. So he needs to step it up a lot in this series. And finally, taking a look at the goalies, the Lightning have one of the best goalies in the world in Andrei Vasilevskiy. He is one of the finalists for the Vezina Trophy alongside Connor Hellebuyck and Tuukka Rask. And he's been a thorn in the Bruins' side so far this series, making numerous saves that, frankly, are not easy to save. He's done very well. Bruins do need to work on their shooting, though, because they keep shooting it directly at Vasilevskiy, and he's a very big goalie. So they need to work on their positioning of their shots. For the Bruins, since Tuukka Rask left the bubble, it has been the job of Jaromir Halak to be in goal, and he has struggled pretty bad so far in this series. And he's conceded 13 goals in 4 appearances. The team's allowed 16 as Dan Vladar came in for one of the games, allowed 3 goals himself, but none of those goals were against him. But Halak really needs to step it up, though. He's allowed 4 power play goals on 24 shots, while also letting in 13 goals on 119 total shots. So he definitely needs to get a little bit better if the Bruins are going to win, because he is the key player for this Bruins defense to actually try and stop goals, as he is the last line of defense. But the defense in front of him also needs to not let in the breakaways that let in against when Dan Vladar was in goal. There was multiple breakaways that he had to face, and unfortunately he let in a few goals, but he really couldn't do much as it's a breakaway, and breakaways are typically going to the forwards. Alright, so that's going to do it for this video. Again, check out all the links in the description. Please subscribe and comment and like this video. But yeah, I'm going to leave a little bit of a prediction. I do think the Bruins are going to struggle tonight, but I do think they have just enough to get them to Game 6. I'm going to say the Bruins are going to win this game 3-2, and it's going to be Jake DeBrusk scoring the winning goal for the Bruins. But thank you for watching this video. Again, Game 5 is going to be tonight at 7 o'clock. Bruins taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Should be a good game. And go Bruins. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.